Mic check, mic check. Pleasant good evening. Welcome inside Greater Nevada Field in downtown Reno as 1868 welcomes the Swope Park Rangers in a United Soccer League showdown.
Yeah, Reno 1868 has a chance to go third with a win versus Swope Park Rangers, a team they did beat a few weeks ago, but Swope Park Rangers will be looking to avenge after that 4-1 loss over in Kansas City.
Please welcome to the field, visiting Swope Park Rangers and your Reno 1868 Football Club.
Following 3 consecutive wins, the Reno 1868 Football Club returns home for another key United Soccer League match. Tonight, they welcome the Swope Park Rangers to downtown Reno. Hey everybody, from the biggest little city inside Greater Nevada Fields, alongside Colin Tabor, I'm Alex Margulies. Colin, this is another really much anticipated match between two of the top teams in the entire USL, and certainly a lot on the line here this evening.
Yeah, definitely. Third place versus fourth place. It's a spot to really solidify themselves in the playoff position. Reno can actually get third place with a win here at Greater Nevada Field.
Reno coming in 11 wins, 5 losses, 6 draws. That gives them 39 points. Swope Park, 1 win. The difference between them and Reno, however, they've played one more match. They've got 42 points, and as Colin just said, a win by Reno tonight would bring them in a tie for third, and that would actually vault Reno ahead of them. Some very important play here this evening to determine eventually, once we get to the playoffs, should Reno make it, which is looking good, they want to try and finish in the top 4 because that would give them a home playoff game here at Greater Nevada Field. Stepping aside now for tonight's national anthem, we'll come back with our key players, starting lineups, and kickoff from downtown Reno.
Brought
All right, moments away from kickoff here at Greater Nevada Field between Reno and Swope Park. Let's take a look at our key players of the match, and we'll start with the Rangers. They're led up top. They run a 3-3-4, and their go-to man, Carlton Belmar, the 24-year-old from Virginia Beach, Virginia, has been outstanding this year.
Yeah, 9 goals this season for Carlton Belmar, the former USL Rookie of the Year. Will be looking to get on the score sheet tonight here at Greater Nevada Field.
On the flip side, a former Swope Park Ranger, Dane Kelly, was part of the club that went all the way to the USL final last year, and he has been sensational this year in Reno. Currently leads the USL with 16 goals.
Yeah, Dane Kelly has been fantastic in front of goal. Right foot, left foot, had a really astounding header last week against Sacramento. He'll be looking to increase that goal tally.
All right, let's take a look at our starting 11s for this match tonight. First for Swope Park, not a whole lot of changes for Nicola Popovich's team. They've got, again, normally a 3-3-4. You'll see here the 4-4-2, but Suni Saad up atop, an interesting pick here. He played in Thailand for the last couple of years, a few years of MLS time back here with Swope Park.
Yeah, Suni Saad, he has a lot of experience not only in MLS with Sporting Kansas City, but also in Thailand, where he played a couple of years between his stints at Sporting Kansas City. Great player, great striker.
And for Reno, not a lot of changes for Ian Russell. This team really getting a lot of continuity. Kelly up top along with Antoine Opano. Linda Mafeka, your attacking mid. Matt LaGrasse has been outstanding as the defensive mid. Matt Persano has been fantastic in goal. 7 clean sheets for this Reno team.
Yeah, Matt Persano does such a good job. Him and the rest of the back line. A lot of plaudits for their offense, but Reno 1868's defense has been just as important this season.
Our coaches in this matchup tonight, Nicola Popovich in his first season with Swope Park, last year an assistant on a team that, again, made it all the way to the USL final. That was in their inaugural season. He was born in Serbia, raised in Portugal, and an interesting guy, fluent in 5 different languages. And you'll see on this Swope Park team, they are well represented worldwide, guys from all over the place, and we'll fill you in on that as the broadcast goes along. And on the other side of the pitch, it's Ian Russell, who is certainly making himself a candidate for USL Coach of the Year.
Yeah, I can't give enough praise to Ian Russell and what he's done with this team in their inaugural season. He's gotten them playing a really fluid attacking style of soccer. They've gotten a lot of goals and a lot of wins, and he's really pushing to try and get this USL title in their first season.
Our referees tonight, Robbie Holner is our head ref. Chris Elliott and Stephen McConigal will assist him with our 4th ref, Matthew Rodman, on the sideline. Dane Kelly gets the whistle, and we are underway tonight at Greater Nevada Fields. The winner of this match tonight will take 3rd place in the Western Conference in the second and final meeting between these two clubs.
I think we saw a few weeks ago in their last matchup, Swope Park Rangers gave in too much space in behind for Antoine Opano, who had really one of his best games of the season. So they're going to try and sit back a little more, try to absorb a little more pressure and try to hit on the counter, I think, rather than play their usual possession game, which they are very good at, and they will still keep the ball, but maybe not quite as expansive a possession game as we're used to seeing from them.
That was pretty wild a few weeks ago, back on July 30th, when these two teams met. Opano scoring in the first minute of the match, in a match that Reno would go on to win 4-1. And that was a pretty big deal because Swope Park at that point had won 7 consecutive matches. They had a 10-match unbeaten streak, so it was a big deal that Reno was able to go into their house and get 3 points.
Yeah, they were on fire in that stretch. We've been saying all season that Real Monarchs and San Antonio were untouched in those first 2, and Swope actually broke into that 2nd place for a little while because of that win streak, but which, of course, Reno ended with a really, really great performance in Kansas City.
Reno have been playing really, really well as of late. They were tested by going on the road for 3 straight. They would come back with 6 points, returned here and beat the 2nd place team in the conference, San Antonio, and handedly beating them by a 2-0 final, and then able to beat their Donner Pass Derby rival Sacramento last weekend, a 2-1 thriller, as they have taken now the season series against the Republic.
Yeah, and it was a hard-fought win for Reno 1868 with, of course, a magnificent free kick outside the box from Chris Weehan. He struck that so well.
Swope Park wearing orange jerseys tonight. Usually have a blue look when they're at home, but they've got these orange for the road, the affiliate of the Sporting Kansas City Major League Soccer Club. Stolen away there by Mark Gonzalez, one of the big forwards for this team. By the way, we do want to send our thoughts and prayers to those affected by Hurricane Harvey in Texas. The USL encouraging fans to donate to the American Red Cross, 1-800-RED-CROSS, or text the word Harvey to 90999 to make a donation. Having lived in the southeast part of the country, Florida, for the majority, about half of my life, hurricanes are really a devastating thing to deal with, and certainly Category 4 storm in Texas, not fun, and hoping everyone able to handle that all right there. So we'll certainly keep them in mind here tonight. Throw in here from Colton Storm. He was drafted in the first round. Good throw in there, gets it into the box. Oxford will have to knock it away to get Bersano out of trouble there.
Yeah, and that was a dangerous early throw in from Colton Storm. He was able to spot the run as soon as he saw it, and Jimmy Oxford tracked the run well, though.
So an early corner kick, and it'll be Saad to go down to take it, the 25-year-old from Michigan. He was signed originally back in 2011 by Sporting KC and played for a couple seasons, scoring 8 goals over 3 years. Then decided to play professionally in Thailand before returning stateside this year, once again to KC. Second match here in the USL. He serves it into the box, headed out of the box. And Reno dodging an early bullet here in the 5th minute. Headed, Bersano ready for it, and an early save for Reno's keeper, who has been outstanding this year.
Yeah, they did well to find Židic on the far post, but Bersano is able to cover that. Bersano really has been fantastic this season with these clean sheets on a team that really was struggling with their conceding of goals in the beginning of the season.
Reno off to a rocky start to begin the year, as you mentioned. I mean, you think back at giving up 4 goals to San Antonio, and I believe 4 as well to
5 against the Monarchs.
5 against the Monarchs, so there were some serious issues in the defense, but they have been rock solid. All the attention, as you mentioned, goes to the offense. 53 goals this year, the best offense in the circuit, but the defense has been, I would say, better than average this year, and really maybe one of the best in the USL.
Oh, they've been wonderful. I mean, if you think about how attacking Reno plays, it's tough to be a defender in a system like this. It's a lot easier to be a defender in a system where everyone sits back, you get 10 people behind the ball. But a lot of the time, the defense is winning balls up in the attacking half, especially Matt LaGrassa, who we see here on the ball. They're able to defend really high up the field, which is a high-risk, high-reward strategy, but it's paid off.
Coming at you live tonight from Greater Nevada Fields. Greater Nevada Credit Union, the official sponsor of this wonderful two-sport facility. Home to not only this Reno 1868 team, but also the AAA affiliate of the Arizona Diamondbacks, the Reno Aces, who are in a playoff hunt right now. Came in the 3-game lead on Fresno with only 10 games left in the season. A lot of success at this stadium this year. It's been fun to watch both of these franchises thrive in this kind of two-sport environment. And both primed for a playoff berth here in 2017.
Yeah, it's an exciting time for the whole organization. They have to be very proud of what these two teams here at Greater Nevada Field have done this year. Really sharing the stadium and making each other proud for what they've done on the field.
Goal kick coming up from Bersano, the 24-year-old from Arizona. Signed by the Earthquakes in March of this year and assigned to this Reno club. Here comes Swope Park once again on the attack.
Colton Storm's a right back who likes to get up the field a lot. He likes to roam up and down that side and try to get good balls into the box. So expect him to really attack Chris Weehan and Jordan Morell's side.
Storm able to stick with it, trying to lob it over to that back corner. Almost was able to sneak it in there after some tussling in the box between Brenton Griffiths and Suni Saad. And a whistle blown there as Griffith is slow to get up.
Yeah, it looks like Jordan Morell there goes down. Somewhere you wouldn't want to get hit.
Not how you want to start the half.
No, definitely not.
Taking a shot there. Well, Morell looks like he's okay, up and walking around. Reno's back four. Big reason why they struggled earlier in this year was because of injuries to that group, but the last couple months they've had a lot of continuity and a lot of depth. And these four guys, Morell, Griffiths, Ockford, and Richards, and even deeper than that on the bench, these guys have been really, really good.
Yeah, they have been good. And also, who's not with Reno today, Nick Von Niederhausen, who's at his sister's wedding, has been fantastic too as a right back. But Brent Richards gets to slide into his more favored right-hand side. And Jordan Morell, who's been great as a center back, can move back into left back.
A lot of depth, and that's what, even if you lose a guy, still a lot of options for Ian Russell. Earlier this year, Kip Colby seeing a lot of time here in Reno, and he was doing a great job on the outside.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, Kip Colby's another one who Reno hasn't seen since the Confederations Cup, when his time with New Zealand. But they've been doing well, and you know, I'm sure they would love to see Kip Colby and other guys as well, like Jackson Ewell.
Richards plays it down the sideline, gets it to Kelly. Kelly tripped up in the box, and it looks like he's going to earn a penalty. Well, Reno does that so well of going over the top and making defenses come up with stops, and they just put too much pressure in the box that time by Dane Kelly, and a great job there to earn an early penalty.
Yeah, well done by Dane Kelly to earn that penalty. He makes a run. He's all on his own against four people, but he's able to get his body across it, and he's able to win the penalty there. Well done from the striker.
Usually it was Opano earning penalties and Kelly taking the kips. Now it's been reversed. Antoine Opano will take the shot, and he will deliver. Reno with a 1-0 lead in the 10th minute as Antoine Opano with his 9th goal of the year.
And Antoine Opano, cool as ever on the penalty spot, just puts it right past Zendejas there. For an excellent penalty, and now Reno 1868 are up.
So a huge early swing of momentum provided by Opano. It was interesting. We saw Kelly take a lot of those shots. He had a lot of success, but then back-to-back misses. And we talked about this a few weeks ago, that should Reno keep getting into those situations, we might see more of Opano, simply because a lot of teams have seen Kelly enough where they're really starting to get a read on him in those penalty kick situations.
Yeah, I think Dane Kelly was favoring a certain way, and he started getting in his own head a little bit on those. We saw with the back-to-back misses, but a goal's a goal, and it doesn't matter who puts away the penalty, because Dane Kelly was the one who earned it, and that was all him and his run. Well done from both the strikers there.
And a great ball, I believe it was Richards that sent it down the field.
I believe so, yeah.
Great ball to get it down in the box and really put a lot of pressure on that Swope Park defense. I mean, really, Swope Park for this first 10 minutes, I think, really controlling the tempo. And then Reno all of a sudden able to go over the top and steal an early goal.
Yeah, and I think that's where they were dangerous a few weeks ago, was on that counterattack. They were able to win the ball because the way Swope Park Rangers have, when they have possession, they stretch the field high and wide. They like to get people a lot of space and ping that ball side to side. But when Reno wins it, they just send Dane Kelly right away, and his speed just punishes this Swope Park Rangers back four.
Fans, you can stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC, Channel 85. Also, don't forget Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. Back down to Colton Storm. Mentioned one of the right backs, but he likes to play forward. Maloto trying to get into the box, cleared away that time by Jimmy Ockford. Back to Džidić. Big 22-year-old from Bosnia and Herzegovina. Well represented is this Swope Park team all over the world, Asia, Africa, even some obscure countries that before this week I had frankly never even heard of.
Yeah, they have guys from Isle of Man, Cape Verde, countries you don't regularly hear about. And a real international team. But I think Popovich has put together a good team, a team that likes to keep the ball. And it's important to remember that the Swope Park Rangers, they primarily focus on development. They're Sporting Kansas City's affiliate in the same city. They're focused on development, but they're getting success from it at the same time.
Persano diving to his right to stop that shot.
I'm sure Peter Vermees, the head coach of Sporting Kansas City, is happy with the project over here at Swope Park.
Tyler Pasher taking a crack at it. Well, and like Reno, a team that has found very quick success in the USL. Just a year ago, it was Swope Park who was in their inaugural season. And Reno, I imagine, would like to follow in their footsteps. Swope Park winning the Western Conference, advancing all the way to the USL final. Unfortunately, they would come up short to New York in that final. But there is a precedent for an inaugural team to have success, and Reno, I'm sure, would love to see themselves in the USL final in their inaugural season.
Yeah, you've seen it with Swope Park Rangers. You've also seen it at Sac Republic in their first year.
A couple years ago, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, there is the chance for teams to come in and hit the ground running, and I'm sure that Nashville, Fresno, and Las Vegas will be thinking about that in their inaugural seasons next year, seeing the success of past teams along with this present Reno team.
Game tonight brought to you by Coors Light. Whatever your mountain, climb on. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Great beer, great responsibility. Brenton Griffiths playing forward, sends it down to Morrell. Chris Weehan. Matt LaGrassa sends it wide. Looking to try to get it to Kelly there, and back to Swope Park. Richards on the throw in there, taken back by Luis Felipe. Lindo Mafeka, good ball there for Kelly, trying to get to it before it reaches the end line. He won't be able to do it. And a goal kick coming up now for Adrian Zendejas.
Yeah, that was a great look from Lindo Mafeka to find the run of Dane Kelly, but just a little bit too much. He doesn't hit the grass the way he wants it to.
Adrian Zendejas has allowed only 18 goals this season. 5 have been given up against Reno. I'm sure he was not pleased being put in that kind of a situation this early in the match to have to try and defend a penalty kick, especially after the way Reno was able to start that match a couple weeks ago in Kansas City.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, one striker all on his own against 3 or 4 center backs. You don't want to concede a penalty that early. But Zendejas won't be happy, especially because in a penalty, there's not a lot you can do. The odds aren't in the goalkeeper's favor on that one.
Luis Felipe sending it wide up top for Brent Richards, who you mentioned Colton Storm. Richards also really likes to play forward from that outside back spot.
Yeah, I think it's just a trend in modern day soccer is having the outside backs provide the width. So many wingers these days are playing on their offside. So say a right-footed winger on his left side, so they can cut in and shoot, or vice versa on the opposite side. So it's the outside backs who get up the field and provide the width. They put in those crosses, and it's just the way the game has swung, rather than the old-fashioned 4-4-2 with wingers who stayed on the sideline. And then you see with Reno, they don't even have wingers. They play with 4 center midfielders, and it's the fullbacks or the strikers who provide the width.
Up to Chris Weehan. Was hoping to touch it up to Kelly, but he was going the other way. Stolen back by Felipe, gets it to Kelly. Kelly takes a left-footed strike and will blast that one back into the Battle-Born Brigade.
Looks like it took a little bit of a deflection there. So it'll be a Reno 1868 corner, but you have a poor giveaway there from Tyler Pasher right into the feet of Luis Felipe Fernandez. And that's what they're going to try to avoid, is giving up the ball in their own half, because that's where Reno are so dangerous.
Soccer fans, Nike, an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. So it's Weehan from the corner. He's tied for first in the USL with 8 assists this year. Puts it through in his right foot, a long line drive, cleared away. Reno had a real good opportunity there. You can see Morel applauding Weehan. That was a fantastic low line drive ball and a tough ball to try and defend.
Yeah, you see Fernandez beating himself up because it actually took the deflection off him. That was goal bound. We see Brent Richards get up, and boom, that's goal bound. Oh no, it took a deflection off of the Swope Park Rangers defender there.
So we'll go to the other side now. There's Weehan. Look at Julian Delgadio trying to get the shot there from News 4, a friend of the program. Always does a great job helping putting some content together for our broadcasts. I think Julian would like to see a goal from that spot, wouldn't he?
Oh, he would. He would love to see a goal. I think we all would, though.
Weehan from the other side. Drives it in again, this time headed out of trouble. Mafeka trying to get in there, but they'll clear it all the way back where Opano will race it down, getting some pressure from Lebo Moloto, excuse me. Griffiths now back up top.
Good
to Weehan.
Good passing there from Brenton Griffiths under pressure.
Kelly trying to tap that one and try and deflect it past Sandejas, but he was able to grab it.
I think sometimes Reno gets so much success. Oh, excuse me. Oh, good defending there from Jordan Morel. But I think Reno gets so much success on the counter that they sometimes tend to force it. They think, oh, we're going to get it again and again and again. And sometimes they just need to slow the play down, find people's feet, and look for the right openings.
So knocked away from Gonzalez, and Saad will return to the corner. Second corner kick from him tonight. Made the start earlier this week in Sacramento, scored in the 4th minute in his USL debut. Drives it in there, deflected out by Dane Kelly. And Reno will clear it out at midfield. Colton Storm once again on the throw-in. Sends it to Pasher. Jimmy Ockford puts his right foot into it.
That's some good pressing there from Swope Park Rangers, but Lindo Mafeka does an excellent job there of getting in front of Barnathan and earning that foul. It's tough for Reno to play out of that. We saw 4 or 5 Swope Park Rangers players around the ball.
Broadcast tonight brought to you by Coors Light. The bigger the mountain, the better the reward. Whatever your mountain, climb on. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Great beer. Great responsibility. By the way, that goal earlier by Opano in the 9th minute, that penalty goal, that was presented by Audi Reno Tahoe. Matt LaGrassa had to hurry to get that one away. Some pressure from Swope Park, gets it up to Weehan now.
That was excellent passing between the defenders and Matt Bersano to get out of that intense press from Swope Park Rangers. They didn't give him a second of time. They handled it so well.
Jordan Morel sends Benz. Mafeka lobs it in for Weehan. Weehan, right-footed strike, and it's saved by Zendejas.
That's a perfect example of looking for the right opportunity. They swung the ball around, They waited for those gaps to open up, and then Chris Wehan saw the run and made it perfectly, but a great save there from Zendejas.
Up to the challenge there. Wehan had him one-on-one, put a good, strong right-footed strike, and Zendejas with a big save here to keep it a 1-0 contest.
What a ball from Lindo Mafeka,
That was
too.
a great lob, wasn't it?
Yeah, just right in the path of Chris Wehan, just past the defenders there.
So an exciting first half here tonight so far at Greater Nevada Fields. Some pressure from Swope Park, an early goal from Reno.
Another poor giveaway from Pasher there.
Contact on Kelly. He's taken down near the corner. Doesn't look like he got a whistle that time as he was tied up with Ballo. Kelly's slow to get up as he holds his right ankle. Take another look. You can see a little shove in there. Ballo following him into the corner, and then it looks like he just clipped that right shin or above the ankle there of Kelly. Maybe Ballo got away with one there.
I think Ballo got the ball there, but got a piece of Kelly along with it. I think giving corners the right call there.
Wehan tries to pop it up and go wider that time. LaGrassa couldn't quite get his head on it. Goes out of bounds. And the throw in coming from Colton Storm.
Yeah, last few were Chris Wehan aimed for that near post. Then he was trying to find Matt LaGrassa peeling off of the far post there. And just a little bit too much for him.
Fans of USL, one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the entire world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with the latest league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter at USL.
And that was a great run from Tyler Pasher and a sneaky little ball to put it on the wrong side of the 1868 defenders who were expecting that driven pass in front of them. But Gonzalez can't do enough with it there.
Saad with the throw in. Now Colton Storm will play it back to midfield. Gidic will cross it to the other side of the field. Here's Christian Duke. Has played every minute this season, starting every contest, and last year as well appeared in all 30 matches. So he has been a real Iron Man on this team. The Overland Park, Kansas native, a hometown favorite.
Yeah, he's definitely Mr. Reliable for this Swope Park Rangers team. He keeps things ticking in the midfield. He's a smart player, strong and defensively. Really their leader.
Maloto trying to feed it into Saad. Antoine Openo trying to flip the fields. Slows it down, gives it back towards LaGrassa, deflects it. Mafeka saves it. Back up to Openo and shoved to the ground by Gidic. And a foul there will give Reno a chance to set something up.
Yeah, Openo just good, just to make his body big, protects the ball and earns the foul there to relieve a little bit of pressure.
There's one guy that knows how to earn a foul.
Oh, he earns a foul better than anyone I've seen. He knows how to do it, and it's not him diving. It's definitely not diving.
I believe Julian earlier this year called it the hop flop.
I don't think he liked that.
I bet he did.
I don't think he liked that at all.
I warned him against it. He went with it anyways.
It rhymes. It fits well. But yeah, I wouldn't call it a flop.
It isn't, no. And most of the time, he is taken down, but he knows how to put himself in position, I think, a lot of the times, to where a player really has no choice but to take him down.
Oh, definitely.
Because of his relentlessness.
Yeah, he's relentless. He's tricky on the ball. He can send you one way with a little hip fake, and then he knows when the tackle's coming, and he can just put that foot in front of it and win that foul.
Whistle blown that time on Reno, and so Swope Park will tee it up. Battleborn Brigade, vocal as always here tonight behind the visitors' goal at this point in the game. set off some blue smoke after that goal by Opano. And have had the drums, the cheers going from the very beginning of this one, as always.
Nervy moment there from Balo, but he composed himself well and finds Zendejas.
Storm serves up to Saad. Matched up with Griffiths. Griffiths able to get a piece of it, and then Richards will send it off to the sideline. Maloto. Gonzalez will get it back to Gidic. Too much that time trying to find Pasher, and a turnover gives it back to Reno here in the 29th minute. Broadcast tonight brought to you again by Coors Lights. What would we be without our mountains? Without the things that push us further and call us higher. Whatever your mountain, climb on. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Greater beer, great responsibility. Alongside Colin Tabor, Alex Margulies here tonight in the biggest little city. Reno able to grab a 1-0 advantage after Dane Kelly earned a penalty in the 9th minute. Antoine Opano able to deliver the goal with a strike into the left side of the net. And Kelly again taken down, and it looks like Reno will have another chance here from just outside the box.
An excellent play from Dane Kelly to push it past the two Swope Park Rangers players, but then Barnathan just takes him down, and this is Chris Weehan territory. Excellent free kick last week against Sac Republic. It was more to the left and a little closer, but Chris Weehan loves to hit a dipping shot from here.
Still not sure how that was not the USL goal of the week. Absolutely beautiful goal. It was the game winner against Sacramento. His 5th of the season.
The vote had to be rigged. It was goal of the, it was goal of the week for me. Bias aside.
Weehan this time serves it over. Mafeka teed it up for Opano, and he just missed. It was right in his wheelhouse, and Opano trying to go to his left foot, and he just skimmed right over the top of the ball. What a great idea there.
Oh, what a clever free kick, and it's so close to being on. You expect Opano to get solid contact on that, but I think he made a mistake going with his left instead of his right.
He drives that home probably 95 times out of 100.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. You'd expect Opano to put that away. But what a well-worked free kick there from Reno.
Just a smart tactical play, wasn't that?
Yeah, definitely, and everyone's ready for the Chris Weehan free kick.
We're all watching, waiting for him to take the strike, and then he puts it into a perfect. Mafeka just delivered that ball beautifully.
It was executed perfectly. We saw Opano peel off the outside of the wall. All of it was executed perfectly. A lot of work in the training ground, I'm sure, into that one. They must have decided if Chris Weehan's wasn't goal of the week, then maybe that one will be.
Storm again, kind of leading the charge. Over to Maloto, who will send it up to the corner. Pasher.
Pasher's getting a lot of freedom on this left-hand side to get up the field.
Back to Maloto. Lobs it in there. Dangerous spot, and Ockford able to clear it away, and now Richards puts his right foot into it and gets it back to midfield.
What a clever ball there from Maloto to find the run of Belmar. Real cheeky scoop over the Reno defense there.
Storm again pushing down that right side. Gets into the box towards Saad, and just out of his reach as Bersano gets to it first. Bersano will throw it in, a tap off the head by Weehan. Couldn't quite get it through, and now a whistle blown, but Reno will keep the possession. Broadcast tonight brought to you by Greater Nevada Credit Union, the official sponsor of Greater Nevada Fields. Jordan Morrell will set things up from midfield. Morel looking to go wide, finds Richards. Back to Felipe. Had a goal in that first game against Swope Park just before halftime in the 45th minute. That was a big goal to give Reno some momentum going into the half.
Yeah, for a midseason signing, Luis Felipe Fernandez has been a very key player to this Reno team.
Mafeka. Weehan will try to help save possession, gets it back to LaGrassa, who deflects it away from Saad. Reno patiently trying to find that opening. Back to goal, and Zendejas, the 21-year-olds, will pick it up. 6 clean sheets on the season for the Chula Vista, California native, who has spent his last 3 professional seasons playing in Mexico with Tijuana. Now back stateside with Swope Park. Pasher tried to drill one home with his left foot, couldn't control it. And a goal kick coming up now for Matt Bersano.
Yeah, and Pasher getting up that field once again, taking on Brent Richards one-on-one. Well done there from the left back.
Swope Park certainly has not made things comfortable for Reno's back four. They've been able to penetrate into the box several times.
No, definitely, and they're getting a lot of success sending both fullbacks forward. They're trying to widen up that Reno defense so they can try and find those gaps between the center backs and fullbacks. Because with the lack of wingers, there's no wingers really to track those fullbacks' runs. The job falls on Chris Weehan and Luis Felipe Fernandez, but doesn't always work out like that. So if you overload those fullbacks, it just widens things up a little bit more and you can find those gaps.
Jimmy Ockford will play it forward this time, puts his right foot into it, and goes out of bounds. Colton Storm will be met by Chris Weehan. Back to Gidic. Signed a MLS deal in May of this year after playing in 32 matches, including the postseason for Swope Park a season ago. Felipe will defer to Brent Richards now on the throw-in. Gets it past the defense, finds Antoine Opino. Met by Pasher, trying to work it around him, gets it into the box, but can't control it as it goes past the end line. And goal kick once again, Zendejas.
Yeah, Opino was just a little isolated there in the corner. Didn't have a lot of support. Reno are kind of having trouble getting out of their own half with numbers. They don't like defending deep. They don't like having a counterattack from deep. They'd much rather transition for winning the ball high. So it's been a tough ask for Dane Kelly and Opino. They've had to do a lot of stuff on their own, which of course Dane Kelly earned a penalty brilliantly by doing. But they don't necessarily like to play that way. They'd like to play higher up the field, win the ball higher up the field, and have a lot of numbers in the attacking third.
Jimmy Ockford didn't like that whistle as him and Saad collided, and they're going to let him tee it up here. Seen Saad a couple times from the corner. Here he is for the set piece. Headed out by Griffiths.
Yeah, Saad has been having trouble clearing the first man. We've seen it in the corners and now on that that free kick as well. He's trying to hit it low and driven, but it's just not getting over the first man.
Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC, Channel 85. Also, don't forget Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check uslsoccer.com for dates and times. Morel throws it in, gets it into Mafeka. Pressure against Opano, and Swope Park gets it back. Compared to most teams, I think this Swope Park team is up to the challenge in terms of winning the ball in the midfields against this Reno team. I think in a lot of other matches we've seen Reno find some advantages in that area, but I feel like Swope Park has really not been intimidated by the midfield play.
Yeah, usually teams can't deal with the diamond four. With four people in the midfield, it's easier and easier for Reno to win that ball in those midfield battles. But Swope Park have done really well by getting their center backs up high. Jidic has won a few good challenges, and then their middle three of Maloto, Duke, and Barmouth, and have done well in the middle as well.
Tangle there between Felipe and
Belmar, I believe.
Belmar it was, yeah. We haven't seen him much in this match tonight.
No, other than the through ball that Maloto sent to him, we haven't mentioned him once. Been a little quiet today.
Team's leading scorer, 9 goals this year. USL Rookie of the Year back in 2015. Zendejas signed in the middle of last year, and he was spectacular for Swope Park in their run towards the USL final. He was 5-0 in the regular season and then won his first 3 matches in the playoffs, including 2 clean sheets before eventually falling in that final match against the Red Bulls. Another foul earned by Reno, and Lino Mafeka that time was the one taken down. Soccer fans, Nike, an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, you can visit NikeSoccer.com.
I think Swope Park have done a really good job of defending with numbers. Reno, they like to overload one side of the field. They like to get a few players in one area and just ping it around real quick and then get out of there. But Swope Park, the way they're playing, the way they're pressing as a unit, just aren't allowing it. So it's forcing them really to be isolated. Lindo Mafeka, Dan Kelly, Antoine Opano, they're kind of isolated from each other.
Nice win there from LaGrassa. Gets it up to Mafeka. Trying to find Opano, but just one step in front of him. And a throw in now for Swope Park.
That's more of what Reno want to see, though. They
just
want
those quick bursts in the midfield, right?
They want to win the ball higher up the field. They want to win. They want Matt LaGrassa to make those tackles in Swope's own half. That way, they can win the ball up the field and then attack while Swope's not defensively set.
Ockford steps up to save the possession. Now LaGrassa being hassled. Poor turnover there, and a chance here now for Swope Park to make a run. Saad almost gave it away to Richards. Able to keep it, though. Here's Maloto. Puts his right foot on it, almost got a deflection. Dangerous spot there, but to deflect it out of play. But was it last touch by Reno?
Yeah, Carlton Belmar up against his former Timbers 2 teammate, Brent Richards. That will be an interesting battle for the rest of the game as well.
So another corner from Saad. First 2 games of his USL career this week. Mostly spent time in MLS and then abroad. Saad delivers it long, headed back towards goal. Kelly will clear. And that one goes out of play.
I like that Dane Kelly is willing to do the defensive work on corners, but when Reno win the ball, who's their outlet?
Right.
Who's the person that they're sending it to?
They're kind of out of position.
Yeah, so they're just stuck defending in their own half, and I think corners could be equally dangerous for the team defending them because you send your center backs up, you're a little bit, like you're a little bit out of place defensively. It's tough to score corners, and then you can get beat on the counterattack.
Morel tried to step up there and get it, but pulled away again by Gonzalez. Pasher plays it forward for Belmar, but it goes out of play. Again, our thoughts and prayers go out to those affected by Hurricane Harvey in Texas and beyond. USL encourages fans to donate to the American Red Cross by calling 1-800-RED Cross or text the word Harvey to 90999 to make a donation. Final couple minutes of regulation here in the first half is Bersano able to get it to Kelly. Mafeka stepping up there, but sent back the other way. Colton Storm racing up the field. Trying to give Gonzalez a chance. Morel will cut him off. And last touch by Swope Park will give Bersano a chance to take his time and bleed out some clock here towards the end of the first half.
Yeah, I think Colton Storm forced things a little bit right there. With Marc Gonzalez making that run, it means Jordan Morel will follow, and Colton Storm has more room to run with it. But he plays that ball even though the run's tracked, and goal kick rewarded for Reno because of it.
Kelly putting some pressure there on Gidic. He'll run all the way back to Zendejas. The likelihood of that really ever actually benefiting the player, something like Kelly just did, is very rare. But we saw in the last match here at home when Brian Brown put pressure on the keeper. He ended up making an inadvertent pass right to him, and he would score a goal to give Reno their second, and ultimately putting the nail in the coffin of San Antonio.
Yeah, I think even if you don't win it like from the goalkeeper like Brian Brown did, which, I mean, he did a great job hounding down the goalkeeper, you're putting the goalkeeper under pressure to hit just not as good of a pass as if they had time to really square it up. So even if, they don't win the initial ball from the goalkeeper, they could maybe win off.
Kind of take them out of what they want to do.
Yeah, or win the second ball as well because the pass wasn't as good. So it just puts the whole team under a little more pressure. It doesn't give them the ease of passing that they would like.
Gidic over to Maloto. Trying to feed it in there, but stolen away by Reno. Openo able to break through midfield. Get some resistance there from Maloto, and looks like he gave it back.
Yeah, and we see it again at Openo. He's isolated. He does a good job turning past, I believe it was Colton Storm, but he just doesn't have that support.
Here he comes again. 5 defenders in front of him, tries to lob it across to Kelly. Look there, you can see 4 or 5 orange shirts to compare to just Reno's 2. And that's going to be a tough way to get to goal.
Yeah, I think they just need to stop trying to force things. I think they need to maybe play the ball a little bit, find some exchanges, draw them in, get it out of that area, and then guys like Openo and Dan Kelly will have a little more room.
Good job by Brenton Griffiths to prevent a run from Suni Saad. Final moments here of the first half. We'll see if somebody can take a crack at goal. 2 minutes of stoppage time added, and could hear that whistle at any moment. Good win there from Felipe, trying to get it up to Kelly. We'll deflect it back to Mafeka. A man down for Swope Park, and Reno happy to take their time and try and just let this first half run out. And there is that first half whistle. So Reno 1868 sparked by a goal in the first 10 minutes. A penalty earned from Dane Kelly and a successful penalty kick from Antoine Opino gives them a 1-0 advantage as we head into halftime. We'll be right back with more, and included in our halftime coverage, we'll chat with Brian Brown, one of the 3 Jamaicans on the club. We mentioned that big goal he had against San Antonio. He'll be our guest when we come back. Once again, Reno on top of Swope Park, 1-0 here in downtown Reno.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Greater Ravenna Credit Union and Greater Ravenna Mortgage T-shirt toss. Who wants a free T-shirt? Come on, let's get loud out here. Who wants a free T-shirt?
All right, joined now by Brian Brown. And Brian, last time you were here at this pitch, you guys had that big 2-0 win over San Antonio. You had that last goal. It was a crazy one. You were able basically to take it away from the keeper. Tell me about how wild that was for you.
First, I mean, I didn't take it away from the goalie. The goalie gave it to me, so that was a gift, which I appreciated, and I would like to send him a thank you note for that. But I mean, it was a awesome feeling. Like, it's my first goal at home, so that meant a lot to me. And it was a goal that we needed to beat San Antonio, which that's what happened. So it was like a good feeling for me and also for the team. We enjoyed the win.
All right, so for most of the season, you've been coming off of the bench, and I know that's not always the easiest role, but you've done such a good job at it, coming in the second half and providing a spark. What are you thinking about during the game to try and keep your head in it?
Just try to stay focused, try to work when I get out there, try to contribute to my team, because that's what the coach asks of me. When I go there, just do my best to work and chase and like create your own or like get a goal or whatever. So for me, like, to be on the bench and see what's going on, it's good for me. Like, when I do go on in the field, I think it'll be much easier because it's not much minutes. Plus, you know, you just got to go there and work. And that's what I've been doing, and I think it's working, but, I mean, it's okay.
All right, so you're from Jamaica, one of 3 guys on the team with Brenton and Dane. What's it like having all 3 of you guys here in Reno? I know you guys are good friends.
Yeah, we are pretty good friends, and the funny thing is, like, I didn't knew these guys before, so it was my first time meeting them, and as soon as I met them, it was like we clicked. It was like, oh, we're family, we're friends, we're brothers. So it's always easy, and I feel much comfortable like knowing that I got like Jamaican friends around. Like I can talk to guys in Jamaica, not, you know. So it's like it's better for me as a person, and I enjoy every minute that I spend with them, and it's good. it's good for me and also for the team too, because we bring something different to the table each time. You know.
So I know on occasion you guys been able to make some kind of home-cooked Jamaican meals. Who's the best cook of the three? And when you do cook, what's the go-to?
I'm not going to say who's the best, but I would say I'm the one that cook most. So they always, because I'm the younger ones, they'll be like, "Oh, Brian, you got to do the cooking." I'm like, whatever. Like I can do it. Like I'm not afraid to mess up or whatever. But it's Jamaican rice and beans, what you guys call it, and like curry or brown stew or baked chicken. That's what we mostly do in the time when we hang out with you, we cook. You know.
All right, awesome. Brian Brown, thanks so much for joining us here today.
Thank you, man. No problem. Good.
We'll be right back.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing.
I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels.
After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak.
Meals on Wheels, coming to my door as someone who's housebound, having someone check on me, assures me that I'm not forgotten.
Meals on Wheels has given me a mode of freedom that I wouldn't have otherwise.
We're the clients.
We are the clients.
We are the clients of Meals on Wheels.
America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
SAFC forward AJ Ajekwa, who was born in the U.S., went to boarding school in Cameroon for a year at the age of 13. The life lessons he learned there helped him overcome once being cut from his high school team to turning soccer into a career.
When I came back to the States is when a couple of my friends told me, "Oh, try out for the high school team." Went out to the high school tryout and probably lasted about 30 seconds. And the head coach goes, "All right," he lines the whole team up and he goes, "AJ to the middle." He kicks the ball up and I probably missed it like 3 or 4 times. And then he goes, "Get out." I didn't make the high school soccer team until my junior year. Being the competitive person I was, just playing basketball and stuff, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make this team. So I just kept pushing and working. I mean, like my work ethic is just everything to me. My mom always said, like, hard work, hard work, hard work. You know, if you want to make it in life, if you want to make it in the society, you have to work.
And with that hard work, AJ went on to play collegiately at Chico State, where he realized he wanted to further his soccer career.
So I told my mom, I was like, "Yo, Mom, I'm gonna finish school, but I wanna go to Europe." She goes, "If you buy your ticket, you can go." And next thing you know, I bought a one-way ticket to England, and I was gone. When I was in England, I mean, I tried so many teams. I contacted probably like 4 or 5 teams in like different leagues, trying to get an opportunity. And then Biggleswade United gave me an opportunity to play for their U23 team, which I'm really grateful for. They gave me a call to their first team, and on my debut game, it was an FA Cup match, and I scored 2 goals, and it was just like, my head just went from there. I was like, yes, this is the relief I need.
After a successful season with Biggleswade United, Ajekwa returned home to the States, where he went on trial with LA2 and soon after signed with Orange County. Now, AJ finds himself here in San Antonio.
Going through what I went through just helped me become the person I am today. I'm still growing today, so I still make mistakes, but I'm not the type of person to make the same mistake twice. I'm a better person, I feel like, just being open-minded to a lot of things and being optimistic. Like life as it comes, you grow through what you go through.
Here in downtown Reno as we get set for second half action here between Reno 1868 and Swope Park. Reno able to jump out to the 1-0 lead thanks to Antoine Opino. And a very nice job by Reno to keep Swope Park off of the board for the rest of the first half, as Swope Park was able to penetrate a couple of times but not able to get one past Matt Bersano. And so we stick here with a 1-0 start to this match. And Colin Tabor, an exciting match to watch, certainly between two top teams here in the Western Conference. And a great job by Dane Kelly to earn that early penalty and get Reno an opportunity for Antoine Opino to bury that first goal.
Yeah, it was an excellent run. Against the run of play, Dane Kelly all on his own just earned that penalty, taking on 3 or 4 of the Swope defenders, and Opino tucks it away.
Let's take a look at the first half highlights from this contest. Here's the run that we were just talking about from Dane Kelly as he was knocked down in the box. And then Antoine Opino with his right foot sent it home.
Yeah, Opino just gives the keeper the eyes and just puts it high just past him there. Well done. A nice, cool penalty from Antoine Opino.
Opino now 9 goals on the season, second best on the team. Matt Bersano, great job in goal as well. Big save there in the 13th minute.
Yeah, and we saw Tyler Pasher get up the field a lot. He had a lot of freedom on that left-hand side.
Then Chris Weehan got one-on-one with the keeper, and a great save by Zendejas to keep it 1-0. And then check this out. Great ball. Weehan to Mefeka, and Opino is probably going to lose sleep over that one. Perfectly teed up, and if he gets his foot on it, there's almost no doubt that it's going to find the back of the net.
Yeah, it was so well worked. The timing from Mefeka from Opino was perfect, but Opino just whiffs it. It was real unfortunate from him. You expect him to put it away from there.
Some shots of guys warming up here as we get ready for the second half of play. We had just seen, there's Russell Clayball, but before him, Seth Kasipley, saw him there with the mustache. We were just talking a couple minutes ago as far as substitutions, and I think this game would lend itself to seeing a guy like Seth Kasipley maybe come in the second half.
Yeah, I think Reno are just kind of struggling to control the midfield, and that's what Seth Kasipley brings. He's so cool on the ball. His passing is excellent, and he can just bring that technical aspect that I think Reno might be missing because they keep trying to hit the counter. And Seth's decision-making, I think, will benefit them at some point in the second half.
You were talking about Reno being isolated at the top with Opino and Kelly and really having a hard time getting much cohesiveness out of that. What else can Reno do? Maybe you're talking about bringing some different guys, changing some things tactically, but how do they maybe get a little more support for their guys up top?
I think they need to just move the ball a little more, not just hit that killer pass every single time, because they're playing those balls in the corner that Dane Kelly or Antoine Opino are getting onto, but then they're isolated. They don't have a lot of support, and they have 3 or 4 defenders around them. So if they just move the ball a little slower, move as a unit up the field. We saw the Chris Weehan chance. There were 10, 12 passes strung together. That's the one time Reno really had sustained possession, and it resulted in a great chance because they were just patient with the ball and picked their opportunities. And I think that they need to do a little more of that. It's tough, though, with the way that Swope are pressing. They're getting a lot of numbers around the midfield players, especially Lindo Mefeka and Chris Weehan, and they're forcing them to hit it long. Go ahead.
No, finish your statement. Yeah.
So I think just trying to maybe not force things so much, maybe move the ball a little bit quicker and then try to hit that ball through will benefit Reno in the second half.
On the flip side, if you're Swope Park, they had some good chances in front of the goal, good penetration, able to really kind of control the tempo, I think, more in this match than Reno. How do they approach the second half?
Well, I think in the midfield, and the fullbacks especially, I think they keep doing what they're doing. They have been excellent. I think if I were Swope, I would want to see Carlton Belmar and Marc Gonzalez on the ball a little more, especially in dangerous areas. We've seen when Belmar picked it up and ran at people, he looked threatening, but we haven't seen enough of that, I don't think. Same with Marc Gonzalez. And Suni Saad, he's looked pretty dangerous on the ball, but you'd like to see more of an end product from him.
So we'll see what the second 45 minutes of this one brings, as Reno will try and make it 4 consecutive wins. This is a team that has been excellent in their home building. They have not lost a match here since March 25th after they lost that first one to Orange County. They have been undefeated since, 6 wins and 4 draws since that time. Ian Russell talked about making this place a fortress, and really over these last couple of months they've been proving that's exactly what they've been able to do. Another win here tonight over Swope Park would continue to kind of affirm Reno's home dominance in this league.
Yeah, they've definitely made this place a fortress, and I think that will be important come playoffs for them to finish top 4, because a home game for the first round of playoffs would be huge for this Reno team.
And we talked about it earlier. There was a point in the season it looked like there was no catching first and second, and there was no chance for anyone to get up to Real Monarchs in San Antonio. Reno right now, though, if they win this match, they'll be tied for third and then only 3 points behind second, behind San Antonio, a team they just beat 2 weeks ago here, 2-0.
Yeah, they'll put the pressure on San Antonio, and they'll get ahead of Swope Park Rangers with the result here. But Swope Park Rangers aren't finished yet. They were very good in this first half, controlling the game, and they'll want to come out and try to get a goal here.
Early substitution to start the second half as we are underway. Robert Mirosavich coming in for Mark Gonzalez. Our substitutions presented by the Les Schwab Tire Center.
And that doesn't really surprise me. I think Marc Gonzalez was rather poor today. He had trouble getting onto the ball, and when he was, the Reno defense was able to shut him down.
Here's Pasher. Swope Park moving towards the Battleborn Brigade in this half, as they once again send it down to Pasher. Belmar gets it in the box, broken up and cleared by Jimmy Ockford.
That was a great ball there to Suni Saad.
So an early chance there for Swope Park, some good ball movement out of the gates. Christian Duke will send it up top. Colton Storm. Now Maloto. 27-year-old from South Africa, one of the many international players on this roster. Now Saad will get it inside the box. Bad pass there, and Felipe will send it up to Mafeka. Mafeka tripped up by Storm, and that'll draw a whistle. And Reno will set things up here after the first couple minutes of the second half.
Yeah, Suni Saad, the Lebanese international, he's looked tricky and elusive and creative on the ball, but his final pass has just been lacking for me. Saw the poor giveaway there. You could tell he's a good player, but it's just he can't quite connect in the attacking third like he would be hoping for.
Sporting KC hoping they can round him back into form after spending the last 2 years in Thailand. He was a valuable player for them over a 3-year period from 2011 to 2014, and he played well last year in First Division in Thailand. 9 goals for Saad during his season, but back to the States he goes after growing up in Michigan. And you mentioned Lebanese national has scored 3 goals for their national team, so he's done well for them. Once again, our thoughts and prayers go out to those affected by Hurricane Harvey in Texas and beyond. The USL encourages fans to donate to the American Red Cross at 1-800-RED-CROSS, or you can text the word Harvey to 90999 if you'd like to make a donation. Chance here for Reno as Felipe comes up. Deflected by Pasher. Able to get out of trouble. Belmar. Felipe is still there harassing. Looks like it caught a piece of his arm. And will send possession back for Swope Park.
Good passing here once again from Swope Park Rangers. See Maloto controlling and dictating the play. swinging the ball side to side, making Reno have to adjust, and getting the ball into Reno's half, which, like we talked about earlier, Reno don't like defending deep. They'd rather defend on the front foot. They'd rather win the ball high. But the way these fullbacks are pushing up, it's tough for them to do that.
Dangerous spot there. Saad able to get a strong left foot on that one, but pulled it wide of goal. And Bersano will give his guys some time to move up the field. Match night brought to you by Greater Nevada Credit Union, the official sponsor of Greater Nevada Fields. Contact there against Dane Kelly, and a whistle goes against Swope Park. Looked like that was Barnathan. Caught Dane in the back of the head. Just a little bit too strong there on the challenge. Brenton Griffiths playing forward. Now will cross the field for Richards. Now Felipe over to Matt LaGrassa. Tried to sling it in there for Mafeka, but blasted it too far. It looks like it caught a piece of Swope Park, though, so Reno will get the throw in. Antoine Openo getting it to Richards.
It's been so hard for Reno to bypass this press from Swope Park Rangers. They're having so much trouble getting into the feet of their attacking players.
Good ball there from Weehan over to Kelly. Kelly's going to take a long strike from well outside the box. Winding up there, but Zendejas was ready for it. He'll send it back forward for Colton Storm.
Reno haven't had many opportunities to get the ball facing goal in the attacking half. And the last two times it's happened in this half, we've seen speculative long shots, which I don't think are the right decisions.
Pasher able to break through Felipe. Richards there as a backup. He'll wall off Pasher and make sure that one makes it out of bounds without a challenge for a corner kick. Good job there by Brent Richards.
Very well done from Brent Richards to marshal that out for a goal kick. And this Reno back line has shown why they've suddenly become clean sheet masters. They've defended so well against the Swope Park team that's kept a lot of the ball, but has had trouble finding really quality chances at all. And it's thanks to guys like Brent Richards, like Jimmy Ockford, Brenton Griffiths, Jordan Morrell. They've defended very well today.
Kept in play by Christian Duke. Gets it to the middle of the fields. San. Maloto. A lot of numbers here for Swope Park. Cleared away by LaGrassa. Here comes Mafeka the other way. Kelly trying to lob it over to Openo. Not a bad idea there.
That's a smart ball there from Dane Kelly.
Only goal this match came in the 9th minute on a penalty kick from Antoine Openo after it was earned by Dane Kelly.
I think Reno in the second half are going to be happy defending deep. They're going to be happy not giving Swope space in behind, letting them play around with it in the midfield. They lose it, and then Reno will try to counterattack. That seems to be the game plan for the second half.
Reno a little more collected with their passing here to start this second half, a little more calculated maybe than they were in the first half. Jimmy Ockford looking for an opening, sends it over to Richards, gives it right back to him.
The problem is they're giving guys like Mafeka and Felipe Fernandez and Weehan no space on the ball. No space to operate and turn to feed their forwards.
Openo shoved down from behind. And probably not the most logical play there for Džidić. I'm not sure he'd really need to do that at all.
It's such a silly foul from Džidić there. Openo's going nowhere, and the ball's probably going out of bounds. There's no need to foul him there.
Well, and that was going to be a Swope Park possession. Instead, you give Reno the ball and basically a corner kick spot.
Yeah, even a little better than a corner kick. A little better of an angle there. A little, not much closer, but it makes a difference.
Džidić would like to have that one back. Looks like Reno's going to make a substitution here. Openo is coming off the field. Brian Brown is coming in. Our substitution brought to you by Les Schwab Tire Center. Brown, who's been a great second-half player on this team, really provides a little bit of different element. I think in a game like this, where it's a little more physical, where I think Brian Brown, it could be a really good second-half substitute for Reno.
Reno needs someone to hold up the ball. It makes perfect sense to bring in Brian Brown since the forwards are so isolated. He can hold up the ball, let the attack catch up with him, and he can get that big frame to protect the ball and find support.
Really, of all the forwards, I think starters or bench, probably the best hold-up play.
Definitely, without a doubt, he's the best hold-up play on the team.
Weehan from the corner this time. Griffiths trying to get it back forward. Swope Park able to avoid that mistake by Džidić. So that penalty doesn't end up biting them. Storm again, trying to feed it in for Saad. Good interception there by Reno. Here's Mafeka, plays it forward for Brown. Brown with a cross. Got it in there for Felipe, but it was kicked out of trouble that time by Džidić. A good job there.
Yeah, an instant impact there from Brian Brown. Right away, he's making himself dangerous. He puts a good ball across, but excellent defending there from Džidić to get it out for a corner.
Good ball there from Brown, certainly giving Felipe a chance, but Džidić helping get that one out of harm's way. Back to the corner goes Chris Weehan. Looking for his 9th assist of the year. Headed, and Ockford too high, but a good ball again by Chris Weehan. Another chance for Reno here in the second half.
And Jimmy Ockford rose so high. He hung in the air there. Great job getting up all the way there.
Fans, you can stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC, Channel 85. Also, don't forget Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times.
Good passing from Swope there. I think Reno are a little fortunate to get away with the ref calling instead of giving the advantage and then going back to book Jimmy Ockford.
So, looks like a yellow card's coming out against Reno's captain. Suni Saad slow to get up.
Yeah, it was a great ball there into Suni Saad to bypass the midfield, and a great little flick to Christian Duke. The ref goes back and gives the foul when Christian Duke has space to run.
Fans, Coors Light reminds you to celebrate every climb safely. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Great beer, great responsibility. Storm will send it back. Down to Pasher. He's met by Felipe. Now Belmar, we haven't heard much of him tonight. We'll take a right-footed strike. Knocked away, Felipe again. Looking to find Kelly, and it's knocked out of bounds. Tyler Pasher, the 23-year-old from Ontario, to throw in. Had a chance to play for Sporting KC earlier this year against Vancouver. And a really strong youth career, started with Newcastle in the English Premier League before coming back to North America. Signed to an MLS contract by Sporting KC back in December.
That was a good transition play from Chris Weehan. He was able to win the ball and find Dane Kelly early. That's what Reno want to try and get to do more of, is win the ball and attack quickly. Win the ball in advanced positions rather than sit back, and then win it in front of their own box.
Richards playing it forward. Brown trying to hustle it down. Deflected. He'll actually get it. Excuse me, that's Dane Kelly. Kelly working around and trying to curl it into that back post. Kelly, good job there, fighting through a lot of defenders, getting around Ballo, but couldn't complete it.
Yeah, great feet from Dane Kelly there to get past Ballo, but just catches the wrong side of the ball and curves the wrong way where he wants it to go.
Here's Belmar. Stolen away by Felipe.
Well done from Felipe there. They're under a little bit of pressure with Pasher and Belmar overloading Brent Richards, but Felipe tracked back really well to win it.
Kelly again trying to break through the big bodies of Zidic and Ballo. This time can't do it. Pasher to Saad. Belmar tripped up just outside the box. Really, really close there. Not going to be a penalty, but that was too close for comfort for Reno as Belmar taken down just outside the box.
Yeah, that was real close to being a penalty. Definitely outside the box, but right on the line. And with Belmar going away from goal, there's no need to foul him there. Force him back, hold him up, and then try to push your lines up.
Soccer fans, Nike, an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Dangerous spot to give this to Suni Saad. The experienced Lebanese international, a lot of time in the MLS and abroad. Reno trying to set up a wall. Saad will try to drive it towards the net and goes too high above Matt Persano, and Reno dodges a bullet here in the 63rd minute.
And another poor set piece there from Suni Saad. Been pretty disappointing at dead balls tonight.
Persano directing traffic as he puts his right foot into it. Chipped by Felipe. Kelly with his back heel sends it over to Brown. Stolen back by Moloto. Wide to Colton Storm. Back over to Barnathan. Good ball movement here by Swope Park. Saad again, this time to Pasher. We'll stop it on the end line. Or sideline, excuse me. Into the box, back to Pasher. Crosses. Too much on the lob there. He was trying to find Mirosavic. Sod again. Centers it. Richards able to clear it. Not out of trouble yet. Back over to Belmar. And Belmar put his right foot into it, right into the stands.
Yeah, Swope Park are doing a good job of overloading Reno's fullbacks with their own fullbacks along with wingers too. And we see Sod drifting side to side, trying to get numbers up out wide where they can get past guys like Brent Richards or Jordan Morell, and they're doing a good job of that. But then that final ball is just not there. We saw Pasher's poor cross in.
Ockford trying to go over the top for Brown. Here's Lindo Mafeka. Over to Brown. Trying to cross it, deflects it off of Ballo, and a throw-in coming now for Reno 1868.
Yeah, and Brent Richards will take his time getting over to this throw, trying to get a few seconds off the clock before putting in one of his trademark long throws into the box.
So a substitution for Reno, Marc Pelosi, who's here on loan from San Jose, will make his third appearance with the team. He made his debut a couple weeks ago here at home against San Antonio, and he'll take over for Mafeka here in the 66th minute. Once again, our substitutions brought to you by the Les Schwab Tire Center.
Yeah, Marc Pelosi, the former Liverpool Academy player, the former under-20 captain of the United States, will be looking to gain some much-needed fitness after a few years out with injury layoffs. Real unfortunate of what could have been a very promising career, but as he's shown in his past few games for Reno, his career is nowhere near being over. He's a great player, tidy on the ball, understands the system. I've been impressed with him in his substitute appearances for Reno.
See if he can provide a spark off the bench. There's LaGrassa stepping up, gets it over to Kelly. Couldn't quite corral the ball, and it'll bank off of his hand.
And it looks like Dane Kelly was just caught in an offside position. Swope center backs pushed up at the last second and found Dane offside there.
Here's Ballo. Talk about countries I'd never heard of before this week. He is from Mali, a small African nation in the western part of the continent. Moved to the United States when he was 9 years old.
You've never heard of Mali either?
I guess I need to brush up on my worldwide geography.
I guess so.
Maybe is that a well-known soccer nation, would you say?
There's a few guys from Mali that have come out into the scene. There's a guy who used to play for Real Madrid, Mohamedou Diarra.
Could you pick Mali out on a map?
I think so. I might get it confused with Angola, but I'm pretty confident. I know
pretty,
it's
pretty
in
good
West
at
Africa.
Your African nation.
I'm okay.
Yeah, the Mali got me. Isle of Man, I had never heard of that. And I had heard, I think, of the of Cape Verde. I knew there was whatever the islands were off of Africa. I didn't know what they were called.
Yeah, Cape Verde's actually had some success recently in the African Cup of Nations. They're starting to come together as a pretty strong soccer nation.
Well represented, this Swope Park team. Got guys in the roster from Malaysia, South Africa, New Zealand. Brent Richards getting himself into the box, getting tied up with Pasher. Maybe trying to earn a penalty, won't get it, and Zendejas will set it up for a goal kick.
Well done for Chris Weehan in transition. Skips past. What a great last second tackle there. I believe it was from Maloto.
Maybe saved a goal there. Weehan able to drive inside. Taken down, but no whistle.
And that's where Chris Wehan is strongest, is in transition. He wins the ball, and right away he's attacking when the defense isn't set, and that's why he's been so crucial to this Reno team who loves to play like that.
Here's Pelosi, sends it back to LaGrassa. Coors Light reminds you that every climb deserves a refreshing finish, and every night deserves a safe ending. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Greater beer, great responsibility. Halfway through this second half, neither team able to break through. Reno still leading 1-0 on that early 9th-minute goal from Antoine Opino on the penalty. See if that can hold for Reno tonight. Looks like Swope Park is ready to make another substitution. Throw in goes to Pelosi. Holds up, sends it back. Across the field to Ockford. Headed back towards goal, Zendejas to pick it up. Dakota Barnathan out, Juan Kuzain coming in, the 18-year-old from Malaysia. They are calling him the Malaysian Messi back in his home country.
Yeah, I read an article about the Malaysian press found a video of him here in USL and immediately dubbed him the Malaysian Messi, and he's got the whole country watching him. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a good amount tuned into our game to watch him.
First season with Swope Park, he was with St. Louis last year, mostly playing for their PDL team, their under-23 club. He was signed to go play in college at Akron, which has become a great college soccer team, but instead was able to stay in the USL because he was offered a contract by Swope Park, and there he is coming in for Barnathan. And again, our substitutions brought to you by the Les Schwab Tire Center.
Yeah, if there's one collegiate program that's great at developing players, it's Akron. You've seen it with U.S. national team regulars like DeAndre Yedlin, Darlington Nagbe. They play a great style of soccer, which is kind of rare in the college game. They move the ball around really well. They're possession-oriented. So it'll be a good fit for someone who's coming from the Swope Park team that also is very good on the ball.
Loto sends it wide. Here's Juan Kuzain.
Yeah, I think Reno have decided that they're pretty content with Swope Park passing the ball around, knowing that they can keep it in front of them all they want, but they're not going to get behind them. They're not going to get good quality chances on goal.
I mean, it's really kind of Reno sitting back and then taking their chances if they get an opportunity to counter, but otherwise they're not going to be as aggressive maybe than this team usually is.
No, they're not going to press nearly as high as they normally do because they know that, I mean, Swope, it's for all their possession. Can you remember any real clear-cut chances that they've had?
Been a while.
It's been a while. And I think we saw a similar thing when they played each other a few weeks ago. Even though it did end 4-1, there were times where Swope had a lot of the ball. But Reno were fine just letting them have the ball in the midfield. Great flick from Chris Weehan there. Now Reno are starting to see a little more of the ball now. They're starting to be a little more patient with it.
Pelosi puts his foot into one, but blasts it back into the bullpen area here at Greater Nevada Fields. USL, one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with the latest league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter at USL. Whistle blown as Saad again taken down. Quickly put back into play by Swope Park. Saad didn't look like he was happy about that. Pasher sent it forward. A little quick flick, and Pasher chasing it towards the end line. Knocked away by Bersano. Weehan steps up to help. And he might have been able to deflect it off of Saad, and that was a great play to prevent a corner.
Yeah, a little bit nervy. If someone was crashing on that far post there, Reno would have been in trouble, but Saad was too busy complaining about that prior free kick to get there in time.
Brian Brown giving chase, but Ballo will escort that one out of bounds. Greater Nevada Credit Union, the official sponsor of Greater Nevada Fields. Last time we're going to have a match here for a while. 4 consecutive road games coming up for this Reno 1868 team.
Yeah, but after that 4-game away run, 3 home games in a row.
Big matches still coming up at home. We'll get to see Real Monarchs for the first time later next month. We'll also see a return from Portland, as well as Sacramento to finish out the season. Another substitution coming for Swope Park. Carlton Belmar really was not able to do much in this contest. Not the impactful player he usually is. He will depart. Cameron Iwasa, the Sacramento native, is in. Once again, that was presented by our Les Schwab Tire Center.
Yeah, Cameron Iwasa last year was the top scorer for Sacramento Republic. Like you said, the Sacramento native actually grew up playing club with Matt LaGrassa. I think they grew up playing soccer together forever.
And teammates last year with the Republic.
So nice little reunion for them.
Had a great season there last year. 12 goals, 3 assists. Played all 30 games for them. He's only managed 2 goals this year with Swope Park, but he was signed to an MLS deal with Sporting Kansas City. Here's Pasher again pushing up from that left side. Broken up by Felipe. Richard stepping in now against Pasher.
It was well done from Brent Richards against Pasher, a guy who's had a lot of freedom in his left side, but Brent Richards really shut him down that time.
Brian Brown steps up there in the midfield, gives it back to Morrell, who fires it forward to Kelly. Can't handle it It'll go out of bounds and a throw-in once again for Carlton Storm. We'll look at the Reno 1868 bench and Ian Russell, hoping his team can hang on and get 3 points. Reno's had some frustrating finishes at home this year. They've let a couple slip through their fingers, and certainly hoping they can put this one away against Swope Park, hoping to hang on for the next 10+ minutes.
Yeah, the home games against Vancouver, Colorado Springs, and Portland were games that Reno walked away feeling like they should have won, but late equalizers changed that. And really, it could have been a case for what if, and if those 3 points turned into 9 points, they'd comfortably be sitting second right now. But I mean, I'm sure every team in this league can also say that, look back and say, oh, what if? And that's the game of soccer right there.
Also look at that road game against Oklahoma City when Reno had to play down a man because of a red card in the 30th minute that eventually was overturned. Didn't help them at all in the match, but still that didn't help matters at all. A lot of those things add up, and still after all that adversity, Reno's still in position if they can hang on and win tonight to move into 3rd place in this USL Western Conference.
Well done from Matt LaGrassa there, under pressure to find Jimmy Ockford.
Here's Juan Kuzain, will send it wide for Carlton Storm. Swope Park getting some numbers forward. Here's Storm trying to center it, and all Jordan Morel could do is get his body in front of it and knock it away, which will earn a corner kick for the Rangers here in the 81st minute.
Yeah, and Carlton Storm once again on that overlapping run is able to get forward.
Looks like they're going to send Mirosavic down to the corner instead of Saad, who has not been successful with his corner kicks tonight.
No, his set pieces have been poor. But here with Mirosavic, they can have a left-footed person take this, some nice in-swinging ball.
22-year-old from Sweden adds to the many international players on this club. There he goes, serves in with his left foot, headed and wide of the net. Reno dodging a bullet here in the final 10 minutes, and a goal kick coming up for Matt Bersano. Fans, you can stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC. That's channel 85. Also, don't forget Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. Carlton Storm breaking through. Centers it. Good job by LaGrassa. Not out of trouble yet, though. Left-footed strike deflected and high. Dangerous ball there. Not a whole lot Bersano could do, but just watch that one go over his head. Here's Iwasa pulling the trigger.
Yeah, and a good strike from Cameron Iwasa there. Swope Park are really starting to put the pressure on. This will be a nervy 10 minutes for Ian Russell and Reno 1868.
Another reminder, our thoughts and prayers going out to those affected by Hurricane Harvey. USL is encouraging fans to donate to the American Red Cross. You can call 1-800-RED-CROSS or text the word Harvey to 90999 to make a donation. Dane Kelly looked like he took a shot in the face there. And our head ref wants the trainer to come out and take a look at him because he took a hit to the head. Kelly looks fine, but Robbie Holner was calling for Reno's trainer, and so he will have to come out and just kind of evaluate him, and really they're just going through all the proper protocols. Concussions obviously have been a very hot button topic in sports, more in American football than the game of soccer, but certainly still worth taking the time to evaluate Dane here.
Yeah, definitely precautionary. I'm assume Dane Kelly's fine, but you can never be certain with something like that. And it's good that the ref is enforcing that things rather than letting the trainer decide that, come on, go see him, and then we can get back onto the field.
Kelly cleared to head back onto the field. There he is, right there at midfield. Takes the pass from Griffiths over to Felipe. Good job by LaGrassa. Slide in there and somehow drew a whistle there. I'm not sure where that came from.
So the referee went back to the prior advantage there.
Okay.
Went back a few seconds, a few more seconds than I think is
Bit of
necessary.
a delay. Yeah.
But yes, he went back on Luis Felipe's prior foul, which, Luis Felipe takes a heavy touch there, gives the ball away, and then fouls. But Matt LaGrassa is there to cover with an excellent tackle.
Colton Storm shoving his way to the box. Weehan will clear it out. A lot of numbers here for Swope Park. Griffiths gets it back to midfield. Headed back now by Ballo. Ockford there this time. Marc Pelosi.
Oh, Marc Pelosi has space to run. It's a great run there. And it has to be a yellow card there for Umar Ballo.
Pelosi was on his way to a great run until Ballo stepped in and just took him out. And I don't know how that did not draw a yellow card.
Yeah, skips past a couple challenges, and you could see Marc Pelosi why he would be upset with this history of knee injuries. Getting a knee-to-knee collision like that is terrifying for someone like Marc Pelosi. So he is understandably very upset about that challenge, especially when he's skipping past and he's through.
So Omar Ballo will take the yellow card here in the 87th minute as Reno tries to hang on here late and get 3 points for their second consecutive game at home. And now another whistle, and things are starting to get chippy here tonight at Greater Nevada Field. I'm not sure what's... Moloto down, and let's take another look and see what happened here. Griffiths colliding there.
Yeah, and it looks like the referee judged that it was studs up from Brenton Griffiths and is giving him the marching orders.
Wow. A wild turn of events here in the final minutes. A red card has been given to Griffiths. And so Reno is going to have to play down a man now for the final 3 minutes of regulation and however amount of time they're going to add for stoppage. And I imagine it could be a pretty lengthy stoppage considering how many times we have had some slowdowns, especially here in this second half.
I think we're at least going to see it 4 or 5 minutes here. Could even be more. But, yeah, that is not good for Reno, a team really that is missing their depth in defense. They don't have another center back to bring on, so expect Matt LaGrassa to slide in there next to Jimmy Ockford, and they're going to fight to the death to see out these last few minutes here.
Looks like Seth Kasipli maybe getting ready to check in as well. Soccer fans, Nike, an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, you can visit NikeSoccer.com. So it'll be a stressful finish tonight here at Greater Nevada Fields. And it will be Kasipli for Dane Kelly as Reno goes all out on their defense here to finish this one out.
Yeah, this will be a nervy few minutes here.
The end of the game last week was a bit nervy in Sacramento. I had a chance to watch that broadcast. Last 10, 15 minutes of that match, the Republic making run after run and Reno able to survive and escape that game with 3 points. We'll see if they can do that again here tonight.
Rangers are definitely going to push everything they have in these last few minutes. They're going to try and get a goal any way they can. They're going to push numbers forward. And Reno are just going to defend for their lives right now. Down to 10 men, losing their center back, Brenton Griffiths.
So a one-man advantage now for Swope Park as we get down to the final minute plus here of this contest. Ball will be served back left, headed away by Reno, and now Pelosi chasing it towards midfield. Pelosi with 5 defenders to get by, and he's still able to keep possession. An admirable attempt there from Marc Pelosi.
Yeah, well done from Pelosi there. Up against 5 defenders. Holds on the ball for precious seconds. Brings it into Swope's half. And Reno can regroup a little bit.
Here's Omar Ballo. Juan Kuzain. Swope Park trying to set something up here. Saad gives it to Storm wide. Storm plenty of time to set something up. He wants to get it back for Zidic.
Oh, well done from Brent Richards. I thought he misread that, but he got up on there.
It looks like 4 minutes of stoppage time added. We'll see if Reno can hang on down a man and get 3 valuable points here against Swope Park. Persano has to dive to his right. Makes the save as he will try and complete his 8th clean sheet of this season. He came in tied for 4th in the USL. Zendejas slings it over to Ballo. Swope Park really taking their time setting things up here in the final minutes. Good job by Kisipli to come up and steal it away. And a trip there. Brian Brown draws the foul. And another yellow card coming out of the pocket of our head referee, Ruby Holner.
And that was crucial there from Brian Brown. That's exactly what he's in the side here for. To hold up the play, have a good battle, maybe earn the foul, and get that team up the field. Oh, well done from Colton Storm there. And a huge tackle from Matt LaGrasse against Cameron Owasa.
Storm going to a quick throw in. Gets it to Juan Kuzain. Here's Shuni Saad. Over to Tyler Pasher. Kuzain, the 18-year-olds, tries to feed it in. Richards will clear it back to midfield. Our stoppage time clock ticking down. Swope Park trying to equalize here in the final moments tonight in downtown Reno. Get into the box, maybe got a hand on it, no whistle, but Persano able to fall on it. And will the Rangers get one more chance, or was that it? Brenton Griffiths out with a red card. Reno now with just 10 men on the field. Rangers gave it away. Kisipli blasting it back towards midfield.
That's a great ball into the corner for a throw-in.
Zendejas will run over and grab it, gets it to Ballo. Maybe enough time for one more. Brian Brown comes up and steals it away. Reno trying to hold this possession as long as they can, and a shove there, and that was not smart from Saad. And it might be another yellow card as he just threw Luis Felipe down to the ground.
Yeah, we can see Luis Felipe harasses him a little bit, but then Saad just goes back and gives him a good shove in the face. Really no need for that, as he's already skipped past him.
There's the yellow card.
And yellow cards for Luis Felipe.
Wow.
I guess calling the prior challenge.
And there's a red card. So the finish of this one has gotten very chippy. A red for Griffiths and now a red for Shuni Saad. So now we're back even 10-10, but this game has only got seconds left.
There's really no need from Sooney Saad to do that. Not only is he off the field now, but they've wasted a good minute from that. He was already past Luis Felipe there.
Whistle's got to go here at any second. Zendejas drives it into the box. Ockford gets his head on it. Pasher chasing it down. Colton Storm again. Deflected by Morrell. Great job to get his body in front of it. And there is the final whistle. Another victory for Reno 1868 here at Greater Nevada Fields. They want to make this place a fortress. How about home win number 7? And this team remains unbeaten in this yard since March 25th. Another 3-point results for this team in their inaugural season.
Really a hard-fought win here for Reno. They were resolute in their defending. They did not let anything get past, restricted Swope to very few chances, and fought till the very end.
The blue smoke rising out of the Battle-Born Brigade. It'll be another party tonight in downtown Reno as 1868 has moved into 3rd place for the first time this season, and they have swept Swope Park in their season series, winning both games 4-1 on the road in a 1-0 tightly fought contest here tonight. We'll take a break, come back with our post-game highlights and reaction from this one here tonight. Reno 1, Swope Park nothing. We'll step aside. You're watching United Soccer League action here on My 21 TV. So Reno 1868 prevails once again here in downtown Reno as they improve to 12 wins, 5 losses, and 6 draws in the year now, 42 points, and that will match them with Swope Park and move them in front of the Rangers for 3rd place here in the Western Conference. Let's take a look back at how this match was won for Reno 1868. They got that lone goal in the first half. It was a penalty earned by Dane Kelly, and Antoine Opino delivers for the only goal of the night. And the rest of the way was an absolute battle. Dane Kelly, with a rare chance for Reno in the second half, decided to blast it from well outside the box, could not connect. And from there, it was just hold on for Reno as they had to buckle down to hold on to this one tonight.
Yeah, and then we see this other opportunity from Dane Kelly. does so well to get past Pasher and Ballo, but just catches the wrong side of the ball there and gets that outside curve instead of inside. And from here on out, it's defend for your lives. Reno did so well of restricting Swope to very few chances. They sat deep, absorbed pressure, and tried to counter when they could.
Brenton Griffiths cited for a red card, saying that he went spikes up. Not really sure if I saw that there in the 87th minute, but carded nonetheless. Reno would go down a man for the final, I guess, 7 minutes or so if you include stoppage. And then a red card from Saad as he threw Luis Felipe down. It wouldn't matter as the match would end seconds later as Reno holds on to get yet another win here at home.
Yeah,
exciting stuff from this Reno 1868 team. They continue to march towards not only a postseason berth. I think it's not a guarantee, but they have got themselves in great position. But even more importantly, a great shot now to host a home game in the playoffs. And the way this club is performing, that would be a big boost.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty, but all the best clubs can win even when it is ugly like that. And they're proving that they're a team that wins games. You've seen it twice now against Swope Park Rangers to launch them into third place. Really fighting for that home playoff spot.
Next up for Reno, they will head to the road. They'll play Orange County, the team that beat them here at Greater Nevada Field back on March 25th. A much different Reno team than what Orange County saw that night. So Reno will look for some redemption there. Then they'll continue on the road and play the LA Galaxy 2 and 2 more games, the Seattle Sounders as well as the Rio Grande Valley Toros. They will not return home until September the 20th, where they will play the OKC Energy, followed by home matches against the Timbers, the Monarchs, and the Republic. Reno finishing their final 4 games of the season here in downtown Reno, and that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it will be a lot of fun. It will be a finish down to the wire, especially that Sacramento Republic game, the last game of the season, where both teams will really be pushing for playoff spots then. And Reno will be hoping for a top 4 finish like we've talked about.
Well, we'll see if Reno can not only get a top 4 finish, maybe even sneak into the top 2 by the time this season is over. A fantastic job by Ian Russell and his club. Our next broadcast, September the 20th, and we'll have all of that action for you once again right here on My 21 TV. Want to thank our entire production staff all over this park and back in our studios at My 21 TV for helping us get on the air tonight. Hard work by many people and a fantastic job once again. For my broadcast partner, Colin Tabor, I'm Alex Margulies saying so long from downtown Reno. It was 1868 once again coming out on top with a 1-0 final. Good night, everybody.
As harsh as it feels, I understand the Griffiths red card.
What's that?
As harsh as it feels, yeah.
It's just one of those, like,
yeah.
there's just no...
You can't go and studs up like that. He did slip. He did slip. He was slipped from coming in recklessly because he was like, oh crap, I took a heavy touch. Yeah. I mean, it was still harsh, but I was understanding.